What's good, YouTube? It's your boy TSO Sage and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about the Miami Heat because long story short, where the hell did this come from? I understand the 2020 Eastern Conference isn't necessarily the strongest in the world, and we all understood off rip the Heat were already an underrated dark horse team to make it out the East. But dark horse and underrated are used for a reason. Like, I ain't know them niggas was this underrated. Like, they are clearly the best team in the Eastern Conference right now. Well, let me not say clearly, they just got that ass taxed by Boston. But when it comes to being an elite team in the East, they definitely been the most consistent. So in today's video, I'm gonna briefly talk about how the hell the Heat even got this far, what the Heat will look like in the future, and what the hell it even means if they win a ring. But for starters, how in God's name did the Heat get so good so fast? Because since LeBron James left, a lot of people thought the Heat were just that team that might make the playoffs and even might win a round, but that's about it. Like, they had a really low ceiling. In the last 6 seasons, aka the 6 seasons since LeBron James left, the Heat have made and missed the playoffs 3 times. They're 3-3 in playoff appearances. And the 3 times they missed it, they were no further than 2 games out. In fact, that's the biggest margin. The first season without LeBron, they were only 1 game out. In the 2016-17 season, they were actually tied with the AC, so I guess they lost to them niggas straight up, or they lost the tiebreaker somehow, whatever the fuck. But yeah, they were tied with the AC. And last year, they were the 10th seed, but they were only 2 games out. Literally every other year, these niggas were in the playoffs, and now they're about to make the finals. Unless they sell like a motherfucker against the Celtics. But the fact that they even made it this far yet again shows one thing that I will say until the day I fucking die. Tanking is not only overrated, but it's actually kind of stupid. You see, the NBA isn't a fucking 2K21 My League. First of all, the NBA actually functions really well, but more importantly, the shit is not obvious as hell who to draft. There is no, I saw him play basketball 8 times, I know he's an 85 overall, let me draft him. That nigga can drop 70 in high school, 90 in college, and be a real live bum in the NBA. In short, tanking is uncertain. Also, trading in real life is much more harder than in a fucking virtual video game, but I think we all understand that. Tanking season after season after season is such a low buy for a heavy cost. Not only is your young pieces guaranteed, but even if they succeed, your future is still not guaranteed. I don't even need to say much. We all saw this coming. Look at the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, I'm not a hypocrite. I'll concede, and I even said in one of my older videos that yes, the process was interrupted, and had it continued, things might be different. But might is probably the biggest keyword in that sentence. Nothing is guaranteed when you decide to throw away seasons. Sure, you may find a player who's more talented than the rest of your roster, but what good is that if you don't know how they are in winning basketball? That's not how you develop a player at all. In addition to that, there's no timetable to tanking. It's just you wake up one day and you accidentally fall into the playoffs, and that's not realistic, and then your team probably loses in the playoffs because they're young as fuck and have never been there. Let alone if you end up missing on your picks and you just end up tanking way longer than you need to be. I don't want to get too sidetracked and keep talking about tanking, but the point is that shit is real life retarded, and it's been proven twice now that you don't need to tank to be a great team. Or even if you want to build a team for the future, you know the draft goes more than 5 picks, right? And when you're always competing, you know when it's time to push your chips to the table. The Heat were already good, but once they added Jimmy Butler, the culture was set. There's no cheating in practice. There's no cheating on a possession. You are going to play your hardest basketball 24/7, 365. And if natural talent were exactly what Jimmy wanted, or the way that you win basketball games, the Jimmy Butler T-Wolves wouldn't have been led by Jimmy Butler, and that team would have been far better than it was. The Heat are probably the most aggressive, best shooting team I've ever seen in my life. It's like half the roster is fucking certified from the 3-point line, but then all of them niggas are trying to lock you up. The niggas that can't even play defense are trying to lock you up. Like, this shit is insane. It's a mentality, it's effort, it's constant, and it's never ending. The team isn't built around Jimmy Butler's talent. In fact, you could argue Jimmy Butler isn't even the best player on either side of the ball on the team. Sure, overall he's the best player, but you can certainly argue either side he's not the best. But again, the team is not built around Jimmy Butler's talent. He's not even good enough for all of that. But Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra knew that this nigga Jimmy Butler was a match made in heaven for them. It's like these motherfuckers play like you stole something from them. The Heat aren't even the most talented team. It's just they play so hard and they shoot the ball so well. It's like a weird ass yin-yang mix. It's unbelievable, but it fucking works. And it's gonna only get better for the Heat because the Heat have a bunch of young ascending stars. Now, let's not get it twisted. I'm well aware that the bubble is definitely a reason for all these young ascending star players. And it's not even mainly with the Heat. This nigga Jamal Murray, yo, what the hell? TJ Warren? Devin Booker always been cold, but goddamn. The bubble definitely has a positive effect on most young players. But I've been watching the Heat even before the bubble. This shit is real and it's gonna keep happening. I know he's not Ja, I know he's not Zion, but Tyler Herro is by far my favorite rookie in this class. And this was even before the bubble. However, and I know I'm supposed to be praising the Heat, but that nigga Kendrick Nunn is on the complete opposite spectrum. I never, ever even thought he was good. I didn't know where the shit came from. I kinda always was like, but Tyler Herro's better than that nigga. Shit, Duncan Robinson's better than that nigga. Speaking of Duncan Robinson, that might be my second favorite player to watch on the team. He has this ugly ass jump shot that he just gets off so fast, and the sniper is just so real. Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, if you haven't watched this nigga shoot the ball, bro, watch this nigga shoot the ball, bro. Study that shit. You're gonna be fascinated, bro, because it's like, what the fuck? He gonna be up there with the greatest shooters of all time. That's not even a question. And then, of course, Bam Adebayo, like, that nigga does pretty much everything. He just needs to work on his offensive prowess, and they're gonna be a fucking problem. Or shit, a fucking bigger problem. You see what I'm saying? These niggas aren't even OC talented. They haven't even hit their ceiling at all, and yet they're about to make the finals. The only issue I have with the Heat's future comes down to the fact that these role players they have are quickly aging. Jay Crowder shooting like this is a fucking anomaly in my opinion. I don't know if playoff Dragic is a thing or not, but all I know for certain is he is up there in age as well. And Andre Iguodala, who I was really excited when he signed with them, even though I wanted him to be a Laker, that nigga's been dog shit. It's like the pecking order goes Jimmy Butler, the young niggas, the older niggas. Now, if they can get some older niggas who are better than the older niggas they already have, them niggas are definitely a candidate to make another run for the finals, if they don't get KD'd. But either way, I've heard a lot of people talk about the East being weak, the bubble being an excuse, all this other shit. Nah, the Heat are real and they're gonna stay real. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. That shit's corny as fuck, but it's what the Heat live by and it's fucking true. Obviously, they could use more talent. Maybe if they had a guy better than Jimmy Butler, we would honestly think they could win the whole fucking thing. But regardless, some people even have them winning the whole thing, and even then, a lot of people aren't just expecting the Lakers to come in and sweep them. The Heat are a special team with special players on the come up, bro, I promise you. But I guess a proper conclusion to this video would only be, what if the Heat actually fucked around and won? Well, for starters, what would it even take for them to win? I'm not about to fucking entertain the Nuggets making the finals, so let's get to it. Lakers versus Heat. Step 1, Bam Adebayo has to play his fucking ass off. I don't know what Houston did to brainwash the Lakers, but these niggas love going small all the time now. So if Bam Adebayo can keep up with Anthony Davis and at least contain him, I'm not asking Bam to be better than Anthony Davis because that shit ain't gonna happen. But if he can at least play to a certain level that contains Anthony Davis, they got a shot in that regard. And even though the Heat won't leave niggas open, there's a lot of niggas that the Heat can leave wide the fuck open to focus on LeBron James. Now, as you may see, the biggest flaw in this argument is stopping them two niggas is gonna be a hell of a feat. But they actually do have the roster to do it, or at least stand a chance. And offensively, it's kind of simple. You better hit your motherfucking threes. I love my Lakers to death, but there will definitely be a game in which we won't hit a motherfucking three to save our life. Like, we'll shoot 23% from downtown. If the Heat can consistently shoot above 35, they're gonna win a game. And God forbid it, of course, but at any time that happens, or LeBron or AD have a bad game, the series is live. Again, such a hard task to do, but nobody's expecting the Heat to fucking win. But in the situation, let's say they fuck around and do it. It would actually be fan-fucking-tastic for basketball. One, I'm not gonna lie, that's just a beautiful story for Jimmy Butler. Not that I know the nigga personally, of course, but that nigga's been through a lot of shit. And for him to potentially win a finals is just like poetic justice. Second, and probably most importantly to me, even though it won't happen because owners are stupid, there are a lot of stupid owners in the league, tanking should be annihilated at that point, right? Like, if the last year champions are the Toronto Raptors and this year's champions are the Miami Heat, and all they did was add a star to an already good team, that's definitely going to be a trend. There's really only one anti-trend in the league for that, and of course, it's them. Oh yeah, we're the kings of the West and with playoff P, we're gonna fuck up LeBron. Yeah, fuck no, boy. Cancun! But yeah, outside of the Cancun Clippers, that shit's definitely gonna be a trend if the Heat were to win. And while the tanking thing is most important to me, the most important thing to the media is probably gonna be the fact that teams are no longer gonna be bitching about having a low pick. Cause on one end, the Lakers have 2 #1 overall picks leading their motherfucking team. But on the other, the Heat only have 2 top 10 picks, and one of them's Andre Iguodala, who's not only way past his prime, but also been dog shit the whole series. And the other top 10 pick is Justice Winslow, who's not even playing. So in closing, for the culture, I'm not gonna lie, Miami winning would be the best thing. However, the chances they do that are pretty slim, as the Lakers are just simply too talented. But this will not be the last of the Miami Heat. In fact, it's just the beginning. The Heat didn't throw away seasons, gather young talent, and then out of nowhere, oh yeah, let's go for a fucking title. Hell no, they got a superstar to maintain a tough mentality for this team. A mentality that honestly, even past Jimmy Butler, with Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley, will always be instilled in these young players. And although they haven't went through the traveling portion of the playoffs, getting such valuable playoff time and experience is going to do wonders for this team in the future. Hell, it's going to do wonders for them right now. And when they become the great team that I know they will be, it won't be any accident. They worked hard for that shit. And whenever they do finally win a championship, it will be well deserved and well appreciated. But that's going to do it for today's video. It's been your boy TSO Sage. If you think this video was a waste of time and Boston's going to come back in 7, definitely comment that below. We can get that discussion popping right the fuck now. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I go back and forth on that shit every day. So one of y'all can convince me, power to you. But of course, if you guys like the video, don't forget to like the video. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe. And on that note, it's been your boy TSO Sage. Don't forget the Clippers are now in Cancun, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care and stay blessed.